So for this lesson, we're going to try and find our x-intercepts by factoring our polynomial form into a simpler equation. So when we look at this top equation here, we need to look at two things. We need to look at our b value. We need to look at our c value. And we need to ask what adds to b and we need to ask what multiplies to c. So if we look here, we can see that b is -3 and c is -2. So what numbers could add to b but multiply to c? If you said that the answer was -2 and -1, you'd be right. So what we're going to say next is y equals x minus 2 and x minus 1. See how we have our -1 and -2 in here? So from here, if we let just one of these terms go to 0, the function as a whole will equal 0. And so there's two instances where the x value can make the function 0. So if we look at this term here, we can see that an x value of +2 makes y equal 0. And if we look here, we can see an x value of +1 makes y equal 0. And these are our x-intercepts. So if we look down here at this function, we can see something a little different about it from this top one up here. This function has a slope in front of it. So we need to operate a little differently. So what we're going to do is multiply our slope into our b. So 2 times 8 equals 16. So now the question we're going to ask for this one is what two numbers add to 8 for our b value and multiply to 16. So our answer here, if you thought about it, is 4 and 4. Two instances of 4. And so what we can do is we can't just factor it straight away with like we did up here in this function. What we have to do is separate it a little more. So what we say is y equals 2x squared plus 4x plus 4x plus 8. And then from here, you're going to be dividing terms out until it's simplified enough that you get a factor using some algebraic techniques. So what we can do here in this section is we can say y equals 2x, x plus 2. So what we did is we divided 2 and x out, and we're left with this. And if we multiply it back in, we'll get this again. And then here, we can factor out a 4, so plus 4, x plus 2. Next, what we can do is we can say, hey, what if we factored out our x plus 2 and our x plus 2 from the whole statement? So what we can say is y equals x plus 2, 2x plus 4. And we can take this section one step further and factor a 2 out. So what we can say is y equals 2, x plus 2, and then this section would simplify to x plus 2 as well. X plus 2. And so what we can do here is we can simplify this section even more. We can say y equals 2x plus 2 squared. And so we have a unique situation with this function where we only have one x-intercept, and that is because the terms get joined together to make this x plus 2 squared, and that makes only one result of 0. And so what we can see is that for the term to go to 0, x would need to be -2, so x equals -2, y equals 0, and that is our x-intercept. And that is -2, 0. Highlight our answer. I hope this all made sense. You gained something from it. Thank you for watching.